Back in the 90s, the basement of our building housed one of the most charming little restaurants I'd ever seen. It was called The Vault, and it wasn't just a quirky name. The place literally had a massive, gleaming, old-world bank vault inside, a relic from when the building belonged to a financial institution. The vault was so huge, so absurdly heavy, that the restaurant had placed a couple of tables inside it. You could sit there surrounded by rows of shiny, empty safe deposit boxes, eating pasta like you were dining inside the heart of a forgotten bank. I loved that place. It was cozy, warm, and everything the rest of the building wasn't. Because upstairs was ruled by a landlord with the personality of a cracked cinder block. This man, let's call him Grimes, was the kind of landlord who always looked like he was 2 seconds away from screaming at someone. Beefy, red-faced, breathing hard through his nose like a cartoon bull. His favorite hobby? Threatening to change the locks on anyone who annoyed him even a little. In most commercial leases, he didn't even need a court order. If you were late with rent, even by a day, he could just lock you out. And he loved reminding everyone of it. He and I hated each other on sight. I was a lawyer sharing office space with an older attorney named Aaron, and Grimes seemed to take personal joy in making our lives difficult. So when the restaurant owner pulled me aside one afternoon during lunch, looking stressed and exhausted, I wasn't surprised. He handed me a letter from Grimes. A fat stack of extra rent charges. Snow removal costs from years ago. Parking lot repairs he'd already paid for. Flooring expenses. Random fees from back when people still used dial-up internet. And at the end, failure to pay will result in locks being changed. Classic Grimes. But then came the real bombshell. The restaurant owner told me. He says I have to remove the vault before I move, and restore the building to the way it was before the vault existed. I almost choked on my food. Remove a 100-ton steel vault? You might as well ask someone to relocate a mountain with a shovel. And restoring the building afterward? We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Send me your lease, I told him. The lease was a Frankenstein monster. A renewal. Of a renewal. Of an assignment. Of a renewal. Going back to shortly after World War II. And somehow, buried in all that old language, the restaurant had inherited the bank's original obligation. Remove the vault at end of term. Worse, the owner, poor guy, had personally guaranteed the lease. He wasn't just risking a business loss. He was risking bankruptcy. No big deal, I thought at first. He can default and walk away. But nope. The guarantee meant Grimes could go after him personally. The situation was hopeless. At least, on paper. But Grimes was greedy. Predictable. Emotional. He wasn't smart, but he was arrogant. And arrogance is just intelligence wearing cheap sunglasses. My brain sparked. I saw a path. A crazy one. But a path nonetheless. I called the restaurant owner. He picked up and immediately panicked. I'm screwed, right? My commercial lawyer said there's nothing I can do. I paused. Then said, I can save you. But it's going to cost. He gulped. How much? $5,000 in legal fees. And another $1,000 for the agent. Agent? What agent? Real estate. Just trust me. Within an hour, a certified check hit my desk. And yes, I had a plan. A bold one. I went to Aaron. I need a real estate agent. You buying something? He asked. Nope. Selling something? Nope. He stared at me for a long second. You're pulling one of your stunts, aren't you? Yup. He sighed, reached for his ancient Rolodex, and handed me a contact. The agent became part of the operation. By the next day, everything was moving. A few days later, I had lunch again at the vault. The owner pulled me aside. The landlord's here. Let's sit in the vault so I don't have to look at his face. We closed the vault door nearly shut, sitting in the quiet steel chamber. I handed him the demand letter I'd already sent Grimes. He read it. His eyes nearly bugged out. You demanded what? I smirked. We are demanding that he allow you to take all your equipment and the vault itself, and remove it within 7 business days. He laughed, then froze. You're serious? Dead serious. You think reverse psychology will work on him? We'll find out. because Grimes hated giving tenants anything they wanted. If we demanded the vault, he would insist on keeping it. And if he insisted on keeping it, then he owned it. And if he owned it, then removing it would be his responsibility, not the restaurant owner's. We walked over to Grimes' table. There he was, huge, sweaty, grease dripping down his fingers as he tore into a rack of lamb like it had insulted his ancestors. I stood over him. My client needs an answer about the vault today. He grunted up at me, annoyed. You can forget about the bank vault, he said, wiping his hands on a napkin that was already soaked with grease. I acted shocked. You're saying the vault is yours? He grinned. Everything in that space is mine. He's not taking any of it. Can I have that in writing? I asked sweetly. Whatever. Sue all you want. Perfect. By the end of the day, we received his written response. He was claiming ownership of the vault. Exactly what we needed. The restaurant moved out the next month. The new location? 20 minutes away. Same name. Same cozy atmosphere. The only thing missing was the actual bank vault. Because guess where that still sat? In the basement of Grimes' building. 100 tons of useless steel. 100 tons of lost potential. 100 tons of. This is your problem now. A week after the move, I walked into my office. Aaron intercepted me. The landlord's looking for you, he said. What did I do now? He said his deal fell through. Some new bank was supposed to rent the basement, but when they saw the vault wasn't removed, they backed out. I smiled. That basement was perfect for a bank, except for the giant, immovable vault he now legally owned but couldn't remove without spending a small fortune. A couple days later, Grimes cornered me in the hallway. Red, puffing, furious, jowls shaking like angry gelatin. I know you did this, he shouted. He accused me of using a fake agent. A fake offer. A fake everything. He threatened to sue me, the agent, the restaurant, probably the fork at his table too. I told him calmly, if you're looking for legal counsel, I'll have to declare a conflict. He stormed off. And he never sued. Because he had no case. He had no lease. No contract. No agreement. Just greed. And greed can't hold up in court. When I moved out of the shared office a year later, the basement was still empty. The "for rent" sign was faded, sun-bleached, pathetic. And the vault? Still there. 100-ton monument to one man's arrogance. Grimes tried to bleed a small restaurant owner dry. And in the end, he trapped himself under the weight of his own greed, literally. The vault he tried to use as leverage became the anchor that sank his entire deal. And every day that empty basement sat collecting dust, I imagined him looking at that vault and hearing it whisper, "Should have listened." Some people think power means they can treat everyone else like they're disposable. But the funny thing about power is that it blinds you. And sometimes all it takes is one smart move to make a bully trip over his own ego.